Labor Day weekend at John Crane Field in Norman brings us SEC soccer and one of the SEC's 3 remaining unbeaten and untied teams. The 20th ranked Oklahoma Sooners are 5-0 for the first time since 2002, and tonight they renew a fun regional rivalry with the Americans' North Texas Mean Green, who are 3-2-0 on the season but lead the all-time series between these two programs. Great to be upstairs, and alongside Nick McMillan, I'm Chad McKee. Oklahoma sits third in the SEC in shots per game coming into the night, but North Texas is third in the country in that same category. Is it keeper beware night at John Crane Field, Nick?
I mean, North Texas averages 26 shots per game, and OU averages 22. It is going to be a slugfest today. I mean, with shots galore, it's going to be an exciting one to call.
One reason Oklahoma has had so much firepower is the SEC's leading scorer coming into the night, and that is Naomi Clark. Already 2 braces on the year. She's got 6 goals. How's she been so dynamic and explosive so quickly?
I mean, we're trying to figure out what she can't do. She can score with her right. She can score with her left. She can even score with her head. I mean, every game, she's just adding more and more to her versatility. I mean, and I expect her to have another goal tonight.
For North Texas, there's kind of a veteran flavor to their roster. Mia Bernard already has 3 goals and 2 assists. She's a junior in the midfield. What role does she play for this team?
You know, us soccer coaches call her the glue girl. I mean, she is someone that you want to have on your team. If you need a goal, she's there. If you need an assist, she's there. She kind of keeps this team going, and she's going to have a big game tonight if North Texas wants to stand a chance.
This will be the 12th all-time meeting in this series. North Texas has won 6 of the previous 11 matchups, but Oklahoma has won 2 straight. We're back to call it for you next on SEC Network Plus. For you, 77 degrees, game time temperature. Here's the lineup for John Headland and the Mean Green, a 5-3-2 formation. Rachel Roebuck, 2-time all-conference player, 8 goals last season. Interesting in goal, Aaliyah Arnett will make her 2nd start. That's career, and it's 2 in a row. But her first start was back on Thursday. She recorded a shutout against McNeese. And you see Claire Niedermeyer, who's been excellent, leads the American in shots per game at 5.25. And for Oklahoma, Lexi Dendis, 4 assists, ties her for 2nd in the SEC. She's a Middle Tennessee State transfer who's fit in very, very well. Kayla Kiefer has scored in each of her last 2 games, and Hadley Morrell, the veteran presence in the midfield, scored her first goal of the season back on Thursday night for the Sooners. Oklahoma 5-0. Best start since 2002. Sooners are wearing the anthracite gray uniform tops with crimson numerals and white Sooners on them. Mean Green in the base white uniforms. They've got the green stripes across. And I think it comes down to how good will the keepers be tonight, Nick. That's just a huge story. You're talking about Arnett, who's making her 2nd career start. And for Oklahoma, Caroline Duffy is making her 24th career start.
I mean, it's going to be a definite battle of the goalkeepers tonight. I mean, what a massive game for your 2nd career start. I mean, she's going to have to come up with some massive saves tonight.
Transfer from Motlow State College. She's a native of Germany, and she replaced Hicks Bishop early on against Prairie View A&M and went the rest of that game, which was a win, and then recorded that shutout on Thursday against McNeese. So she has that confidence. Oklahoma the first touch. Both these teams like to really get in your face and press. Oklahoma can do it with Alexis Washington. Sends it across the front of the goal box. It's cleared briefly. Oklahoma with Kiefer sets it right back up. This will come out top, and Ligon will try to play it back in. Driving it right into the middle of the 18 box, and it is headed on one hop in there by Sophie Morin, scooped up by Arnett. And I've got a feeling that's the way much of the night is going to go, Nick.
I mean, you can already tell the Sooners just high pressing, relentless on there. And you can kind of tell Kayla Kiefer staying up there by the keeper, kind of just want to give her a little bit of pressure, saying, hey, I'm going to be here all night.
Washington takes this down. Out of bounds it goes. Mean Green, 3-2-0 on the season. Opening loss, and they had a really good matchup with SMU out of the ACC, one of the best soccer conferences in the country. They actually lost that match, but outshot SMU 29-6. John Headland was excited about his team's effort. They've been on the improvement. They've won 2 straight, including the victory on Thursday. Sooners have scored 4 goals in 4 of their first 5 matches. They've only allowed 3, so they've outscored opponents 19-3, a goal differential of plus 16 for Matt Mott's team. Mean Green with his throw in. Headed down by Sophie Moreland of Oklahoma. Comes to her foot. And now played out by Mia Bernard. But the Sooners take it right back. Legan. To the edge, and a good hard slide tackle to get it away by Ridley Reeves. Sophomore forward from Arlington Martin. Had her first goal of the year in the victory over McNeese back on Thursday. An Oklahoma throw in here for Legan. Adley Morrell had it taken from her by Peyton Annis of the Mean Green, and the first foul of the night as Ridley Reeves gets dropped. Referee is Travis Haight, wearing the orange out there. This has been such a good, I guess you'd say mostly friendly rivalry over the years. Nick, so many of the players on both rosters are from the Dallas area. They just are. They played together or against each other in high school or club, and that adds to the rivalry without question.
I mean, it's almost like it's the battle of I-35.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on, like you said, with both teams. They know each other. They've played with each other. And it's been one of these things that we've played for the past few years against each other. I mean, so you've got some seniors here who have played this North Texas team for the past 3-4 years. And so, you know, they want to make a difference because, as we mentioned earlier, North Texas leads this matchup series.
Goal kick here for Caroline Duffy. Dangerous right foot. She'll move up and take a lot of the set pieces for the Sooners. Actually has 2 assists on the year as a keeper. And that one is Hannah Phillips just decided, you know, there's heavy pressure here. I'm not going to let this roll back to our young keeper. She went ahead and played that ball out of bounds, and it'll be the first corner of the night for Matt Mott and his Sooners. Really happy with the way that his team has played. They would like to have scored a few more goals after the high pressure shots that they had against Louisiana Tech, but all in all, to add all the new faces, they had 23 of their 28 players on the roster here in the spring. That's been a big help. Lexi Dendis plays this one across, and it hits the crossbar. Out of bounds it goes.
You could tell what she was trying to do there. She tried just to whip that thing in, and goalkeeper very thankful that it hit the top of the crossbar because she was kind of caught Sophie Morin and kind of pushed her into the goal, and so she was kind of caught out of place. So if that would have not hit the crossbar, there's a good chance it could already be 1-0 for the Sooners.
I mean, Green really like the size that Arneth provides in goal. She's 6 foot, real presence back there for them. That's out of bounds off Oklahoma's Naomi Clark. Niedermeyer had it for a moment, tried to pass it back and reset. Clark took it for the Sooners. Oklahoma throw in. That one goes off Lily Cunningham, who's from Edmond, Deer Creek High School in Edmond. Drew Legan set to take this. Clark, a quick header toward Dendis. Cleared out, though, by Phillips. Big collision up top. Banging into each other were Reeves of North Texas and Oklahoma's Michelle Pack. This is an attempted drive in by Brown. Dangerous location here. Phillips got to it. It's taken from her by Kiefer. Very physical on that front line for Oklahoma, and the Sooners are going to get a corner. So the Mean Green unable to clear it there, Nick.
And that's something that Kiefer and Clark do really well. I mean, they kind of work together. Kiefer is just that nose on the ground, just that hard-nosed worker, and Clark is just so athletic. I mean, they kind of pair with each other so well. They know that when one goes, the other one's going to be right at the same moment. I mean, that's that work rate that the Sooners offense has that makes them so dangerous.
Right in front of the goal box. Getting her head to it was Clark, but it goes over the top. Already, the Sooners with a couple of shots on 2 corners. They've had some good looks. He's been there since the beginning of the program. John Hedlund, one of the best in the country, over 400 career wins. And with this team, you know, he said going into Thursday, they had outshot their foes by 75 shots. They'd outshot them 125. He said the only difference was it's nice to see them go in. And that's what they did for the Mean Green 4 times in a 4-0 shutout of McNeese. Alexis Washington trying to turn the corner. That will go out on the end line off of Washington. Solid defending there by Lillian Vandiver, freshman from Cedar Park, Texas. There's Alexis Washington. 1 week ago tonight, she became Oklahoma's all-time assist leader with her 20th against another team from the American Conference, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. And she's not big on promoting herself or speaking or dancing or any of those sorts of things. Matt Mott said, I gave her the choice after the game, and when they get together and they have their circle, he said, you can either speak or you can dance. And she said, okay, I'll speak. And she said, thanks to my teammates for scoring on all the passes over the years. Understated fashion. That's kind of her. Riley Brown has been so steady on the back row for Oklahoma. Now Pack trying to thread the needle. This one comes up to Niedermeyer. Organization now for the Mean Green. Here's Peyton Annis. Forward it comes toward Bernard, but reaching it is the Sooner keeper, Caroline Duffy. Duffy so good back there, and you can see the sun is in her eyes. The keeper back there in the east goal this time of the day at John Crane Field has to deal with the sun. As Duffy drives this one away.
It's the first time this year that she's actually had the sun in her eyes. They've normally been extremely lucky that they've been on the opposite side. So let's see if that kind of plays a part. I mean, with Big Green, you know, or North Texas, sorry, having so many shots, I mean, this is definitely something to be worried about.
Ridley Reeves a little wide left with that attempt. Older sister Riley plays soccer at Navy. Fellow American. And so she has 2 career goals. One of them came back on Thursday. Duffy. Reeves heads that. Now Bernard, and entanglement, will have a foul whistled against the Sooners. I believe they got Allie Lacanol with that one. Allie Lacanol off to a very good start. Physical freshman out of Washington. She was the SEC Freshman of the Week 2 weeks ago. First ever SEC honor for Oklahoma in their second year in the league. Right in front of the goal box. Trying to get there was Niedermeyer, and a whistle sends us the other way. Niedermeyer may have gotten back past the final Oklahoma defender, waiting to try to take that header. So Duffy plays it away for the Sooners.
That was a great defensive line there by the Sooners. You can already tell what North Texas wants to do when they win those free kicks. They just want to kind of play those into the box and kind of just cause chaos. And so that was a great little defensive stand there. It's going to be interesting to see as this game progresses is if they try to do something different, maybe play a little bit short, or they try to continue that playing it long, getting bodies in the box, and just saying, hey, we're going to try to make something happen.
Vandiver is able to shield the ball from Washington and just let it roll on out of bounds. No score. 2 shots for the Sooners, 1 for the Mean Green. Brown serves this toward Hadley Morrell. Watched by Abby Major. Across it comes, and Phillips drives it away. Now Reeves. And that's not quite out of bounds. It's going to stay in for Brown to get for the Sooners.
One of the things that's really impressive about the Sooners team over the past 2 games is their effort to try to reset the ball. And so what I mean by reset is rather than just constantly lumping the ball into the box, once they lose the ball, they bring it all the way back to the keeper, and then they switch it to the other side and try to actually find the correct pass. And which that, by doing that, that causes them to have a little bit more space. It causes the defense to have to step up, and you get those 1v1 situations with Clark and Kiefer that you want to be in. And so I've been really impressed these past 2 games. The Sooners have just been kind of a little bit more of a steady Eddie on the ball.
Nice steal there by Dendes to start the Oklahoma attack. Here comes Hadley Morrell. Laid off the ball nicely that time by Major, but the Sooners reset it with Brown.
And see, just like I mentioned there, they're trying to keep the ball. They're trying to have that possession. A little bit unlucky there by Clark and Washington, but they're trying to do something a little bit different, which is causing teams some problems.
Niedermeyer is dangerous. She hits it, and sprawling to grab it is Duffy. First real good look for the Mean Green, and the veteran Oklahoma keeper Caroline Duffy is up to the task.
And that's what happens in that 3-5-2 formation for the North Texas. I mean, when you have two girls up top, whenever there's a loss in play and whenever there's a transition, it's going to be 1v1. So that was a beautiful save there by Duffy. But North Texas is slowly getting themselves into this game, saying, hey, if we can find the right moment, we're going to be able to get in a situation that we like.
Clark trying to sweep this one wide and see if Kiefer can run to it, but instead it will go out of bounds. What's your initial thought? We're about 13 minutes into this one. Nick, what do you think so far?
I think, you know, we mentioned at the beginning, we expected a lot of fireworks. You know, North Texas has 26 shots on goal, or on shots per game on the year, and then OU has 22. I think we're expecting just a onslaught at the very beginning, but this has been very calm and collected by both teams. I mean, yes, the Sooners have pressed. That's what they naturally do, and so, but it hasn't really been anything from it. So it's been an interesting first few minutes because both teams are feeling each other out.
Kiefer is on sides, crosses it, and Clark couldn't quite get there in time. Reeves able to take it out for the Mean Green. This pass comes to midfield and exchange possession. Pretty good ball here toward Annis, who will reach it. That pass just clatters off the foot of Niedermeyer, and Oklahoma angles back the other way.
And see, these are the moments now that the Sooners have to be aggressive. The Mean Green pushed 4 or 5 girls up, and so now you've got a almost 5v5 situation in the back. So a little bit unfortunate there by Clark, but those are the moments you've got to capitalize on.
Here's Niedermeyer looking for some help. This is Mia Bernard, junior from Heath, Texas. Been very good, was on the all-rookie team 2 seasons ago. Annis out wide. Here comes Bernard, driving this one right through the Oklahoma 18 box, and Brown clears it out there. Communication maybe not on point there between Brown and Duffy. Nick?
You know, as a coach, you always say, if you don't hear the goalkeeper, you've got to clear it out. And so there may have just been a little bit of lack of communication there, but at the end of the day, you're never going to fart or never going to, you know, cause harm right there, because you just want to see the ball out. You just want to get it out so that way we don't cause a goal.
Throw in here for the Mean Green deep in the Oklahoma end, and Lillian Vandiver will take it. Freshman thrust right into the middle of things for John Hedlund to the Mean Green this year. Reeves trying to turn and send this one across, and Duffy will come take this one. Right there you can see her call off the defender Lacanol and say, I got this.
And that was much better communication there. I mean, yes, the ball wasn't coming with as much pace, but you can see Duffy's definitely claiming that ball in her area.
Duffy off a couple of heads. Let's see if Naomi Clark is okay. That, I think, ricochet caught her in the left ear. See if she's all right, and just keep an eye on her as this ball comes up to Annis. Dendis over to play her 1v1. Annis angles left, and Dendis able to root it away from her briefly. Matt Mott has really been high on what Dendis has done, transferring to Oklahoma from Middle Tennessee State. There's a hard tackle, no whistle, no foul. Dendis clears it for Oklahoma. Here's Clark reaching it first and bumped out of bounds by Roebuck. Looks like Naomi Clark's okay.
And you see Clark there trying to ask to go quickly, just like what we mentioned. When the North Texas pushes everyone up, you're going to have 1v1 situations. So Clark was definitely trying to get that ball quick and saying, hey, I'm trying to get us in a better situation rather than letting the Mean Green let them set up their defense.
Well, that went toward the post and punched out by Arnett. Loose in front. Clark circles back to it. Now this drive by Morin, and the Sooners are on
Beautiful
top.
goal.
Sophie Morin off the rebound, drives one home. And Oklahoma grabs a quick 1-0 lead. It is the first Oklahoma Sooner goal for the UTSA transfer, Sophie Morin. Beg your pardon, that's Kiefer.
You see here an excellent shot there by Washington. Clark doing amazing right there. But this all comes down to Kiefer. She hesitates. She sizes it up. Boom. Puts it right where the keeper couldn't go. The keeper's having to come across her body. You see there, that little bit of hesitation, that little extra touch. It did take a little nasty deflection there, which causes the keeper to kind of get a little bit unbalanced. But Kiefer is not going to care. She has scored in 3 games running. And when you speak to Coach Matt Mott about Kayla Kiefer, I mean, she is just someone that they are super high on. They really expect her to really get going, and so this is very exciting for the Sooners offense.
Thank you for bailing me out. That was indeed Kiefer. 3 games in a row where she has scored. It's like the penalty kick goal against Tulsa kind of broke the ice for her. She was chomping at the bit to put one home. Foul against Oklahoma will be the 3rd whistled against the Sooners.
You know, and we spoke about it before. She was always finding herself in the right moment at the right time. You know, she was just putting relentless work in. The ball just wasn't bouncing her way. But then, like you said, once that penalty kick happened, it's like something clicked. And now she is on fire. And what's really scary for opposing teams is when you have a forward who finds the back of the net.
Roebuck hits this one. Now North Texas down a goal. Hard slide tackle there. This one driven out again by Dendis.
It's a hard foul.
And Morrell came up to try to swipe that ball away, and Abby Major got into her. That'll be the first foul whistled against the Mean Green. Hadley Morrell, the senior from Prosper, Texas, scored her first goal of the season back on Thursday on a header. And Mott said they have began calling her Header Hadley. It's a beautiful service by Lexi Dendis on the goal as well. This one driven away by Duffy. Hits it well. Kind of a dangerous head. I think it was Roebuck who headed that one back toward the keeper, Arnett.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's perfect execution there because you are allowed to header the ball back to your goalkeeper if you can, but that is just very dangerous. Very lucky to not concede a corner there.
Give Naomi Clark an assist on the goal. So the goal by Kiefer is her 3rd, and Clark has her 2nd assist of the season. Oklahoma patient now, up a goal 20 minutes into this one.
And I'm telling you right now, this is what we have been asking the Sooners to do. They are waiting. They're probing for the right moment. They're not just throwing everything forward to the wind. They are being relentless. They're trying to pick apart the opposing team. And you saw there with Lacanol and Legan, I mean, just going back and forth saying, you know what, I don't like it on this side. Let's pull it back to the other side. And that's what makes this team so dangerous. When you speak to opposing coaches, they know exactly what Coach Matt Mott wants. They know, hey, he's going to be intense. They're going to be in your face. They're really going to get after it. And now they're doing something, I don't want to call it a little bit different, but they're adding another kind of notch in their shield, which now when opposing teams play them, they don't know what to expect. I mean, when it comes down to those little things, I mean, that's the difference between winning a close game and losing a close game. So this Sooners team is extremely exciting to watch.
And the other thing, and Matt Mott has spoken about this with this roster from day one, it's deep and it's versatile. It allows them to change things up and play different styles, right, Nick?
I mean, I think we talked about it before. I mean, you have 10 different Sooners that have already got the score sheet this year. And if my stats are correct, only 2 of those are returning players. I mean, so this Sooners offense is potent. You started 2 true freshmen on the back line. I mean, this Sooners team is just next man up mentality. I mean, how great is it as a coach to be able to look to your bench and to not lose anything? When the second you make a sub, I mean, Coach Matt Mott looks like he's a genius. He makes a sub, boom, they either score a goal or get an assist. He makes a sub, they save a goal. You know, they have that great defining shot. I mean, Coach Matt Mott's team is just running extremely hot, and they are definitely drinking the juice.
No doubt. Duffy drives this one away. Kiefer just had that skim her head. This one's going to trickle all the way back. Aaliyah Arneth will take it. So Arneth in her second career start, down a goal. That's the first goal that she has surrendered in these 2 starts. And this was intercepted by Brown at midfield. Served forward by Bernard, but Legan will reach it first for Oklahoma. Duffy just decides to reset this thing. Lily Cunningham throws it in. 3rd year at North Texas. Phillips up to try to take it, but she's held off by Kiefer, who sets up Dendis. Big collision there. Everybody looks okay. And now Roebuck over to drop it out of bounds and away from Kiefer. Pretty physical. Dendis turns the corner, sends it across. Arneth punches it out. It's loose in front of the goal. And we've got an Oklahoma player down in the middle of the 18 box. It is Hadley Morrell. I believe the whistle's going to stop things.
I believe he's calling a foul there on Morrell. I didn't really get to see what happened. It looked like it was just more of a coming together here. You see Dendis playing the ball in, and I mean, if that is the foul, that's a little bit unfortunate there. It looked like they just kind of ran into each other. The tough thing is when you're an attacker and you're trying to run into the box, you really don't see where the defender is. And so, I mean, you're so focused on the ball, you kind of just making that run. And so it looked like Hadley Morrell just kind of a little bit unfortunate there to get kind of caught in the middle of the defender there. So Mean Green definitely a little bit lucky because now that relieves a little bit of pressure because the Sooners were definitely hitting the gas pedal.
Oklahoma has substituted, and Cassie Clifton is in, the senior from Prosper, Texas. Teammates in high school with Hadley Morrell, and they've been Oklahoma teammates now for 4 seasons as well. And Clifton playing for just the 2nd time this year. She missed the Sooners' first 4 contests with an ankle injury, but ready to go. There she is. 3-year starter, over 4,200 minutes as an Oklahoma Sooner coming into the season. That'll be an Oklahoma foul. As Reeves gets up, looks none the worse for wear. And the Mean Green get a free kick. That's 5 fouls against the Sooners. Just 1 whistled against the Mean Green so far. Ricochet comes out to Hadley Morrell. Bernard drops it back in, but Pack takes it for Oklahoma. Be an Oklahoma throw in and a couple of substitutions coming on. Here's the depth of this Oklahoma roster. So you've got Juliet Rayo and El Canty coming in. And Nick, these are players that both come off the bench and have both had a brace in a game this year.
I mean, El Canty in her first career college start, I mean, scored 2 goals. I mean, and Juliet Rayo the other day with one of the greatest penalty kicks that I've seen in a long time. And then she just hits an absolute stunner of a shot. I mean, these are 2 girls that are coming off of your bench. I mean, these are girls that are starting in other places. And so this is just a lot of just challenges that Coach Matt Mott has to deal with. But those are good challenges. Those are challenges you want to have. You want to have those battles every day in practice. And that's what makes this Sooner team so exciting.
Clifton reaches this one. Mean Green substituting as well. They've got Summer Brown in there, senior from Arlington. She scored in 2 straight, and she's up top now wearing number 6 in white with green. North Texas could use her energy and scoring punch. This ball served a little out of the reach of Alexis Washington and out of bounds. 19 minutes left here in the first half. Oklahoma and North Texas both winning back on Thursday night. Oklahoma, their soccer team, got the chance to throw out and shoot T-shirts at the football game last night. Matt Mott was placed in charge of the T-shirt gun. He said he was asked by the man in charge of the T-shirt gun if he knew how to fire a T-shirt gun, and he said, well, during my days in the Coast Guard, I fired a .50 caliber machine gun, so I hope I can handle this one.
That's got to be the same thing, right?
I mean, similar, yeah.
I mean, I think that everyone in one point in time in their life wants to shoot the T-shirt gun.
Without question.
A little bit jealous of Coach Matt Mott.
Alina Arnett able to take that one away from the on-charging Alexis Washington. She'll let everybody just kind of matriculate back the other way. Rayo back to pick it up. Now Michelle Pack. And here's Clifton. Well, Texas able to win that ball back. Goes off of Dendas and out of bounds. So Cunningham set to take the throw for the Mean Green. And right back out of bounds for Clifton to take this one for the Sooners. Phillips swipes this one toward midfield. Nobody home for the Mean Green.
It's a great ball right there.
Pack couldn't quite get to it, and Roebuck had it for a moment. Now Alexis Washington for the Sooners. Rayo to her left. Ricochets off Phillips. Dendas tried to drop one to the near post, and it's just wide. Dendas very dangerous there. It'll be a goal kick.
A little bit lucky there in the deflection, but Dendas in the right place in the right time, tries to squeeze that in. It actually hits the post, so goalkeeper is extremely lucky there. But Sooners seem to be firing on all cylinders currently at the moment.
The goal scored by Kayla Kiefer in the 17th minute. But Oklahoma's been close many times, out shooting North Texas 6-2 here in the opening half. Here's Rayo. Nice touch there from Luciana Seta-Ducate. And that's intercepted. Good job by Cunningham to run wide with that ball. But here's Pack. And trying to thread the needle toward Dendas. Too much, and it's out of bounds.
I would have liked to see Rayo just be a little bit more selfish there. She has that ability to shoot that ball. Seta-Ducate was in a great space, but the angle that she would have had to make that pass would have had to been extremely difficult. And so if she could just slot that back on her right, she now can have that shot on goal. So a little bit unfortunate there by Rayo, but you see the Sooners offense is now clicking. Those 1-2 passes are really starting to take apart this North Texas team.
Arnett set to drive this one away. See, Georgia Gunther has come into the lineup for the Mean Green here. She's a junior defender from Plano and a transfer from Abilene Christian. And there she is. First season in Denton. Here's Washington. She has an edge. Gunther circles her back out. This will be an Oklahoma throw-in. But a quick substitute coming on. Dendas will get her first break. She's had a good run here in the opening half, and she'll be replaced by Colorado transfer Claire Curran. Dendas, 4 assists, ties her for second in the SEC coming into the night. She was the Conference USA Freshman of the Year last year at Middle Tennessee State. She's fit right in in an Oklahoma Sooner uniform. Dangerous ball. And finally, Arneth just has to come and dive on it as Seta Ducate was back there for the Sooners. And Roebuck trying to fight her off. It's Luciana Seta Ducate, the Stony Brook transfer. Pack takes this one for Oklahoma. Naomi Clark trying to put this in a spot for Alexis Washington, and it'll be dropped out of bounds. Roebuck clears it. There's Rachel Roebuck. She's a transfer from Paris Junior College. Two-time All-Conference, first-team All-Conference last year when she scored 8 goals. And this is just a long-time, very good performer. 4th year in the program, 3-year starter, and a captain. Good decision maker. Riley Brown for Pack. Trying to guide this one towards Seta Ducate. Now Canty. It comes to Pack. She goes down, bumped from behind by Bernard. Where did the foul occur?
Looks like he's called that right outside the box there, and I think I'm going to go ahead and have to agree with that. I mean, just what a beautiful turn right here. You see, she's already knows she wants to turn right outside the box. I mean, that kind of stuff right there. Pack has got some magic feet, and we have seen it these past few games. Just the way that she's been kind of contorting her body and just really been extremely shifty has been causing defenders so many problems.
Rayo has 1 penalty kick goal this year. She chips it toward the left post, and it goes just wide. Juliet Rayo, penalty kick goal earlier this year, had a brace against East Texas A&M a week ago. She is a sophomore from Wiley, Texas. Had a very good freshman year, 3 goals and a couple of assists. But more a part of things this year than she was a year ago for Matt Mott and the Sooners. This is Claire Curran. Well defended there, and I think we may get a foul. Ridley Reeves taking a tumble after the good 1v1 defending. .5 minutes left here in the opening half. You see the foul count, 6-2. Sooners have committed a few more. I don't think you mind that a lot of times as a coach, do you?
No, I mean, and that's one of the things when you speak to Coach Matt Mott, what's different between this year's team and last year's team. Last year's team, if we would have had that same foul count, it would have been 2-1 or 2-2. I mean, this year's team, he speaks about it all the time. They just got a little bit more umph. They've got that little bit just of, you don't want to call it nastiness, but they got that grit in them that they're not afraid to say, hey, I'm going to go into this challenge. I'm going to make this tackle. And that's what's causing them to be able to high press and do some of the things they do, is because they're winning the ball so far up the field. So if you're the Sooners coach, you are not, you know, it does not bother you that you've already had 5 fouls.
Alexis Washington comes off. Ashley Tutis is in. Here comes Seta Ducate. Full head of steam. Ricochets off of Clark. Chipped out. Curran heads it back. Racing to it comes Cunningham. Cunningham turns the corner up the right sideline. Will she have a runner with her? Just past Summer Brown it went. That'll be cleared out by Clifton. Billy Cunningham takes it. A little more possession here for the Mean Green. But Oklahoma is not letting North Texas have those free runners over the top tonight. And with under 10 left, throw-in will be taken here by Lillian Vandiver, who's played the entire first half. See who gains possession. It'll be Pack for Oklahoma. Will Tudis get there? Nope, it's out.
It's a good idea by Pack, but I would like the Sooners to try to calm down a little bit. These last few minutes, North Texas has kind of played themselves into this game, slowing it down a little bit, having that little bit of possession, which they haven't had so far in the game. And so for the Sooners, they need to kind of breathe a little bit and say, hey, let's control the ball and let's kind of take the sting out of this game and continue playing our style of soccer.
Well defended there. Trying to find Summer Brown on the backside of this, but Riley Brown is there for Oklahoma, and the counterattack begins. Canty waits to serve it to the middle for Pack. Oklahoma has organization. Trying to reach Rayo. Nice job defending. And played out by Vandiver. Zeta Ducate with it.
And see, if you're the Sooners, you don't mind this. You don't mind being able to play. A little bit unfortunate there by Curran playing that ball in. You just want to try to keep the ball. You want to try to, since North Texas is kind of playing in this defensive shell, how can you pull them out? And what you slowly have to do is that every pass, it's slowly the defense is going to have to take another step. And the more you are passing the ball around, they're going to continue to step, and that's when you attack those spaces, which are going to cause you those 1v1 situations.
Aaliyah Arnett driving this one toward midfield. Pack gains control for Oklahoma. So good at it. Soft feet. Curran able to work past Cunningham, but Cunningham muscles her way back into the play. And a couple of substitutes coming on with just under 7 minutes left here in the first half. Looks like Clark will get a breather to close the half for the Sooners. Brenlin Mullaney, the Ole Miss transfer, runs onto the pitch. And for North Texas, entering is Ava Haley, freshman from Plano. Sister Amaya plays at Texas. Mia Bernard gets a breather. Up for grabs right across the goal box. Gunther clears it out. Duffy gets an angle to drive this one forward. Vandiver just bumps this one toward Oklahoma's Riley Brown. Neither team with real momentum, does it feel like, here about the last 10 minutes, Nick?
I think, you know, if you're North Texas, you're trying to say, hey, can we go into this half still 1-0? And I think what's causing the Sooners to kind of slow down a little bit is like what we've mentioned. North Texas had that little bit of possession, which caused everything to kind of hit a lull of a little bit. But I don't think the Sooners are going to mind that. They've been playing extremely well today in possession. They've had a lot of shots. I mean, a little bit unfortunate not to have one or two extra goals. As you see a push there by Mullaney. I mean, that's a kind of silly foul. You're 90 yards away from your own goal. But that's kind of what's caused the Sooners to kind of slow down a little bit. They're just playing that possession and not really getting back into what they were doing in the first 5-10 minutes.
Ridley Reeves takes a spill there. 7th foul called against Oklahoma. Yeah, you talk about adjustments, and it's one thing that Matt Mott has been very happy with. One of the many things, in fact, he's been happy with his team is their ability to adjust. They faced a Louisiana Tech team the other night that was really just sitting back and not real aggressive or offensive. And it was one of those cases where they were not going to score, Louisiana Tech. They just wanted to prevent Oklahoma from scoring. And the Sooners adjusted, were able to put 3 home and win the game.
And no matter what level you play at, that's extremely difficult to play against because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're having to try to play through 11 girls. And I mean, and that's just so difficult because everything just has to be at the right moment. You either have to hit a whirly of a shot from about 30 out and just hit it where the keeper has no chance, or you've got to have them have a breakdown. You've got to do what you do best, which is passing the ball around, making that right pass at the right moment to have that success.
Oklahoma able to maintain the control here. Clifton will get the reset pass. Now Mulaney, 1v1, has it ridden away from her by Cunningham, who's had a good first half. Brown firing it ahead, but nobody's home. And North Texas has had to be so concerned, it seems like, Nick, with defending Oklahoma. They don't have those forwards up there ready to take longer passes.
And if you know, they started the game in a 3-5-2, but now it looks like they're in more of maybe a 5-3-1 or 5-3-1-1, because they're having to add that extra girl in the midfield because the Sooners are just pressing up so high. And so normally when you have that 3-5-2, you have that extra offensive player up there. So one player will receive the ball and you have another attacking forward. But since they're having to drop an extra girl in the midfield, you're just not able to have that extra press. I mean, we spoke about at the very beginning, North Texas averages 26 shots per game, and currently they're at 2. I mean, if you're Coach Matt Mott and the Sooners, you are doing everything that your game plan wanted to do so far.
And that's the other side of it for both of these teams. North Texas's opponents had only taken 29 shots coming into the game, and Oklahoma's had only taken 25. So while the shot totals are impressive offensively, you take a look at what these teams have done defensively. They've both limited shot opportunities for two of the biggest shot-taking teams in the country tonight.
I mean, that was definitely something that had to have been mentioned by both coaching staffs. You know, that's something that's going to keep you up, like, hey, how are we going to stop these teams from getting all these shots? And in retrospect, I think both teams have done a really good job. I mean, Sooners only having 6 so far, North Texas having 2. So both coaching staffs have got to be pleased with their defense, but like we mentioned, there's definitely got to be a change or two to see if we can get 1 or 2 extra shots.
Clifton hit that one a little too hard, trying to get it forward toward Mulaney, and it'll be another goal kick with about 1:30 left in our first half. The only goal by Kayla Kiefer, 17th minute. Assist by Naomi Clark. Oklahoma has outshot North Texas 6-2 here in this opening half. Sooners looking to go to 6-0, continue their best start since 2002. And North Texas trying to get an equalizing goal here. Physical matchup here between Cunningham and Mulaney. Rayo touches it for Seta Ducate. Pretty good strike that's just over the top. Decent look there for Ashley Tudis, who scored her first career goal earlier this season. Able to get her way back from injury. Had a couple of seasons where she was banged up. Last year, ACL tear, and had the medical red shirt. Spent 2 seasons at Florida. And her sister Alyssa is also on this Oklahoma roster. Sarah Peyton Webb now is on. Sophomore defender from Prosper, Texas. Missed last season with an ACL tear. Made her season debut back on Thursday against McNeese and played 37 minutes.
10, 9, 8.
Should just about do it for the opening half. So we expected fireworks, lots of shots. We've had only 9 total. These two teams between them average 46 shots per game. We've had only 9 official shots, but Oklahoma has landed 1 of them, and the Sooners have a 1-0 lead headed to the halftime locker room. Both teams going to rest and cool off. And the head coach of the Mean Green, John Hetland, kind enough to join us here for just a moment before he gets into the locker room. Coach, you're right there, 1-0 score at halftime. What'd you think of the first half?
I thought we did a good job from the beginning. We weathered the storm. I mean, it's really the first 10 to 15 minutes against OU, and especially at third place. But they they try to get that early goal, and we did a good job right from the beginning. We didn't give them much, and even the one goal that they did score, it was kind of a miscommunication between our defense and our goalkeeper, which was a little bit soft. And we've had some chances, and we'll see how the second half is, but we're right in where we need to be.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. We'll let you get in there with your team.
Thank you.
John Hedlund, the Mean Green head coach, right there in this thing. Outshot by Oklahoma, just 7-2, and a 1-0 lead for the 20th ranked Sooners at halftime. Halftime show coming up from John Crane Field on SEC Network Plus. Up in the top half of the SEC, actually in the top 3, and then North Texas third nationally, most shots per game. Maybe we should look more at the defense. And how did you feel about what your defense did in that first half?
Yeah, really happy defensively. Made it tough for them. I think we were able to really capitalize on some 1v1 defending moments, and we just got to keep the ball a little bit more, connect a few more passes, be a little more dangerous in the final third.
Coach, you had some moments in the first half where it's almost like your players were too timid to shoot. Is that something you talked about at halftime?
Yeah, we certainly, we've got to get more balls on frame. We've got to test the keeper more. I think we had 2 shots on frame. We've got to be better, certainly, in the final third and in the penalty area. We got to win both penalty areas. This is a tough game. It's far from over. We got to be better, certainly, in the attack.
Okay, Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, guys.
Oklahoma head coach Matt Mott's team yet to trail this year and up 1-0 here at halftime. Now, they have made very good halftime adjustments each time they've been out there. And what's dangerous about Oklahoma is their ability to score in bunches. They've had 3 different games this year where they've scored either 2 goals or 3 goals within a 15-minute span of each other, and they can strike quickly.
And so if you're North Texas, you have got to be aware of that, because if the Sooners kind of sniff a goal, they sniff them in bunches. And so something that North Texas has to be kind of just adapting for, saying, hey, we have got to be at the right place at the right time. And if we do get scored on, we can't just quit, because if we just quit, then OU is going to just be on top of us.
You see North Texas, 2-game advantage in the all-time series. Oklahoma has won 2 straight. The 2-2 draw, and then Oklahoma was able to get a 1-0 win prior to that. But it's been a really good and competitive series over the years between these teams. We talk about the regionality of it. And so many of these players are former high school, even club teammates. You got Sarah Peyton Webb, who's from Prosper, Texas. Oklahoma's got a couple of players in Cassie Clifton and Hadley Morrell are from there. And it's almost impossible to keep track of all the club adjacencies between these programs. You play on these big soccer clubs down in the Dallas area. You play with people. You may go to another team and play against them. It's just too numerous to mention. But the deal is they're very familiar with one another, and that has bred a very good environment over the years in this series. And you see, that's what John Hedlund has done. 89% of the players in program history have hailed from the state of Texas. And really, it's only been more recently that they've gone outside Texas. 4 players prior to 2018 that were from outside the state of Texas. And here he has his keeper, Aaliyah Arneth, who's from Germany. Big second half, though. We'll see which team gains the early advantage. It feels like maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes will be a tone setter, Nick.
Yeah, the first 5-10 minutes of the second half are going to be extremely important for both teams. If North Texas wants to get back into this game, they have got to kind of, rein it in the first little bit. But if you're OU and you score early, this could be a definitely interesting second half to watch.
Mean Green get the initial look at it to start half number 2. Oklahoma out shooting North Texas 7-2 in the first half, but only 2 shots on goal for the Sooners and 1 for the Mean Green in the first 45 minutes. Up the left sideline it comes, trying to get Kayla Kiefer to run toward that. She scored the only goal, 3rd straight game in which she has scored. Phillips plays this one away toward midfield for North Texas. League in the header into the central part. And now up to take it comes Morin. Sophie Morin, been so good for Oklahoma, transferring in from UTSA. Rayo runs through it to midfield. Taken back by Phillips. And the Mean Green able to sprint away. Ridley Reeves playing it toward Niedermeyer. And Duffy just kind of trots over to it. Rifles it to Brown to start the counterattack.
And that's something I've been really pleased with the Sooners over these past few games. In the first few games when Duffy would get that ball, she would kind of hold it and let everyone get up. They were kind of trying to feast off of her long kicks, which she is so good at. But here recently, the second she gets it, they just want to put it right back into play. They're just trying to play a little bit quicker to cause their opponents to have that little bit of trouble. And so really glad to see the Sooners being able to play multiple different types of styles.
Here's Brown. Right in front of the goal box, headed just wide left. Aggressive play on that one toward Kayla Kiefer. When she relishes the chance to go up and get those balls, doesn't she?
I mean, we spoke to Coach Matt Mott, and they said that she actually has one of the highest jumps on the team. I mean, she loves that. They were taking a corners, and she just kind of skies out of nowhere. So she has that athletic ability, which is a little bit sneaky. Most people don't expect.
Her teammates, when she first arrived at transferring in from Ole Miss, they were kind of taken aback and really had to adjust to her physicality and competitiveness. Here's Niedermeyer winning this ball. Hits that one off of Ligon out of bounds, and the Mean Green will get their first corner of the night. Opportunity here. 39th corner of the year for North Texas. So for them to go a half without one is a rarity. And Peyton Annis, whose mom is a North Texas grad, played for John Hedlund, offers up that corner, drives it all the way across. This will be a throw-in for the Mean Green.
One of the things that was very interesting to note right there, both Kiefer and Clark were both in the box for that corner kick. So that's definitely something that the Sooners have kind of identified. When they have a free kick situation or a corner kick, we're just going to put everyone in the box because we know that's when they're dangerous.
Billy Cunningham will take this throw. And it'll go back to Oklahoma. Little adjustments that you have to make. North Texas has had to adjust because of injury. Ella Bushko, who went out against Prairie View A&M, and unfortunately it's a long-term injury, but she was on the American all-freshman team last year. John Hedlund said it was a really physical game with Prairie View, and they had several players get nicked up. Unfortunately, they lost Bushko, so they are having to soldier on without one of their vital members of the back row. 2 games without her now. Opportunity here for the Mean Green. Driven in by Robach. Skims down to the foot of Annis. Annis chases it down. And nobody home on the backside there. Well defended by Sophie Morin. There's Peyton Annis, just a freshman. Avon, Texas Community High School. As we said, her mom graduated in 2003. Played for John Hedlund in the Mean Green. She's an alumnus. Passing it down. There you go. There's a good shot of her. And Carrie, you know, she's got to be super proud of one of those first few teams that John Hedlund had. He's been there since the beginning in 1995. Over 400 career wins. Here's Lily Cunningham trying to work it wide. And that went off of Cunningham. You see right there that Claire Curran, who was a late first half substitution, she remains on the pitch for Matt Mott and the Sooners, as does Cassie Clifton, who came in about midway through the first half.
Yeah, there was definitely a few changes that the Sooners kept on for this second half here. I don't know if that may have been a tactical sub or they saw something a little bit different. And so it's going to be interesting to see how these subs kind of affect this second half.
There's Matt Mott. Those halftime adjustments. He said they've approached halftime a little differently this year. They go to the locker room, let the players have a few moments, kind of settle in, relax, think about it. They get with their individual position coaches, and then they kind of talk it over as a team before they come back out. And it's worked very well for them this year.
And I think that's a smart move because at the end of the day, you know, no matter how good we coach, the players are on the field. And so they see things naturally that we don't. And so by letting the players kind of say, hey, what are we seeing? What are we looking at here? It allows them to kind of openly, I don't want to say discuss their problems, but they can talk about it with each other. And then the coaches can say, hey, what are something that you guys see that we may not see? And so that maybe changes your game plan a little bit, and it allows you to say, hey, oh, we're weak here, and the Sooners can kind of capitalize on that. So it's very creative, and I think it's definitely working for Coach Matt Mott so far this season.
Need good leadership on your roster to have more player-driven things. It certainly helps. Brown able to collect this for the Sooners, and just saved with the speed of Rayo there. This will come back again to Riley Brown. Riley Brown has provided so many good minutes for Oklahoma, transferring in from Washington. Played a lot when Cassie Clifton couldn't go the first 4, and then I think she's really just earned more and more playing time, Nick, based upon what they've seen from her the first 5 matches of the year. She's one that you don't even want to take off.
You know, at the beginning of the year when we spoke to Coach Matt Mott, he said that Brown is going to be a good replacement for Clifton, and I don't even think he was expecting her to be this good. I mean, at one point in time, I believe she is leading the team in minutes besides Duffy. I mean, so that is someone who has just been a solidify on that back line.
This one wide toward Washington, but it'll flutter out of bounds. Neither team with any, I think the word you used earlier best describes it, rhythm right now. Still kind of feels that way.
And I think both teams are just still trying to feel each other out. You know, they both made tactical adjustments in this second half. And so, you know, that's what we spoke about earlier, and we spoke about it at halftime. You know, if you can be the one that has the better, more clinical shot on goal, this is a game that proves that this are those moments. You may only get 1 or 2 shots. Can we make them count?
Major trying to drop this one up the right flank toward Peyton Annis, who couldn't quite get there. Little touch there by Bernard, but Brown takes it away for the Sooners again, and this loose ball is collected. Kiefer behind Washington and out of bounds. Can you get in too big a hurry and force the issue sometimes, Nick?
I think that's what Kiefer was trying to do right there. Washington was open in acres of space, and she just tried to play a little bit ball. If she just plays it a little bit in front of Washington, you've got to remember, Washington still has the speed. She still has everything, including that passing skill. And so if you can just put it in the general area of Washington, she can do the rest. And so I think the teams are trying to force the issue a little bit, because once you see that space, almost as a player, you're like, I've got to play into it. I've got to play into it. And that's one of the things that the Sooners did really well in the first half, was rather than force that ball, they said, you know what, I'm going to go the opposite way and try to keep it for a little bit more to create even more space.
A foul called on Major as Hadley Morrell takes a spill. Third foul whistled against the Mean Green tonight, and a set piece chance now for Sophie Morin to offer one up for Oklahoma. Drops it down low, maybe mishit that ball.
Yeah, definitely is going to want that one back. I mean, that was a definite miss hit.
Canty plays it in, bounced into the air. Curran has it for Oklahoma. She'll wrestle it out. Nice one touch up top to Morrell. But stricken away. Good defending by the Mean Green. Now it's a foot race, and Niedermeyer is about as speedy as anybody out there. Here comes Brown circling back and plays it out. Boy, Brown has been excellent. You see Niedermeyer's speed, but Brown took a good angle, Nick.
And that was just excellent defending there by Brown. You kind of saw Legan kind of get caught out right there, but Brown just cleaning up the job. Really great defensively there. That's beautifully done there by Brown.
You see that speed that landed Niedermeyer on the all-freshman team last year in the American. 7 goals a season ago, and 2 already this year. First substitution here in half number 2 brings Michelle Pack back on for Oklahoma. And a break here for Sophie Morin. Duffy the goal kick. Kiefer heads it forward. Good defending by the Mean Green. Major in the midfield, but Kiefer able to wrangle it away. Clark surrounded. And who did that go off of? Well defended there by Vandiver. It'll be an Oklahoma throw-in. Legan launches that one toward Kiefer. Nobody home there at the top of the 18 box for the Sooners. Clifton plays it wide, but too wide for Curran. And the Mean Green will be able to counter the other way.
And one of the things you notice there, since Clark and Kiefer are both helping defensively, and they're really tracking back really deep, which is causing a little bit of problems for the Sooners offense because they're not being in those spots where you want to. If Clark is normally where she's at when Kiefer makes that touch, Clark is going to be in acres of space there right in front of goal. And so the Sooners' two strikers have got to put themselves, yes, I love the fact they want to help defensively, but they've got to put themselves in a little bit better situation so that way when the ball does transition up, we can be, you know, in the right space to get those shots on goal.
Oklahoma has taken the only 2 shots credited to either team here in the first 13 minutes of the second half. And the shot fest that we expected has turned into more of a defensive stalemate between these teams. Legan trying to center that one up. Good execution, though, taken by Reeves, and Niedermeyer starts the other way. Good ball wide for Peyton Renfro. Renfro sends it across, and I think Annis fell down. That's who she was trying to get there by the Oklahoma goal box. Pack counters for Oklahoma.
The Sooners switch here. Morell's in just acres of space.
And here
they
she
can
is.
attack it quickly.
Wide for Washington. Washington wanting to serve it across, but good closing speed that time. Vandiver forced Washington maybe to pull the trigger a little bit early, Nick.
Yeah, you know, and I think that pass, I think it was forced out to Washington. I would have loved Morell there to play it herself. I think she knew that Washington was coming, and she almost slowed herself down to where she knew, like, everyone on the field was like, hey, they're going to play this ball to Washington. You've got to be able to have that little bit of creativity of saying, yes, Washington's made that run, and I recognize that, but now I've got to continue to play it myself because that allows you just to have more options going forward.
Here comes Curran. Cut off at the pass, though. Lily Cunningham over there defending for North Texas. This back line for the Mean Green has been up to it tonight. Cunningham Jr. from Edmond, Deer Creek High School, just up the road. And we see back on comes El Canty, and Morell's going to get a breather. She'll no doubt be back shortly for the Sooners. Kiefer drives this one across the 18 box. Here's Washington. And out of bounds, Alexis Washington draws a corner kick off of Vandiver there. Beg your pardon, that's off of Renfro.
And one of the things that Washington does so well, she just does that little bit of turn, and it's nothing fancy. She'll turn back around, and she'll just kind of take 1 or 2 touches, and then you think she's going to make a pass, and then just in a flash, she's already spinning right back and just going in, and that's what makes her so dangerous.
Pack takes this corner. Rayo, what a save that is, right on point by Aaliyah Arneth. As Rayo drove that one right at the North Texas keeper.
And I don't think most people understand how difficult of a save that is. I mean, look at all the bodies in front of her right now. So she's got to see not only the ball through about 15, 16 girls. I mean, that is a wonderful save there. but that is just as good of a shot there by Rayo, keeping the ball down. A lot of times when the ball makes that little bobble and you're going for a volley, that thing is sent into the car park. And so her ability and her skill to get over that and have that low and driven, that's beautifully done by both the keeper and Rayo.
Just the second career start for Aaliyah Arneth. Once again, she came on and replaced Hicks Bishop in goal in the Prairie View A&M game. That was now 3 games ago. Started, got a shutout against McNeese, and now here she is. That was her second save credited on the night. An Oklahoma corner kick coming here as Curran had it poked away by Cunningham.
And Curran is definitely causing some problems on that left-hand side. She did a little shifty move there to beat the ball down the line. I mean, right now the Sooners offense is attacking.
Pack in front of the goal box. Kiefer heads it, and it's accepted back there by Arneth again.
I mean, if you would have not have told me this was her second career start, she has looked like a very steady Eddie there in goal. I mean, everything has just came naturally to her. So she is definitely playing in the moment right now, and she is having a exceptional game.
Experience at the junior college level at Motlow State College, but first time has been good for the junior from Germany, Aaliyah Arneth. Oklahoma throw in coming here at midfield. Oklahoma out shooting North Texas 11-2. This is a North Texas team 3rd in the country in shots per game at better than 25 per contest. And they have been able to get away only a pair against Oklahoma's defense tonight. To me, that's the story, Nick.
Oh, I mean, that's if you're going to highlight anything from this game, I mean, you have a team that averages 26 shots and they only have 2. I mean, that is just exceptionally game planned by Coach Matt Mott and his coaching staff. And I mean, to hold them to 2 shots, I mean, that is just big time if you're the Sooners.
Kiefer with an aggressive cross that time that goes wide. She's close to another one. She scored in 3 straight. We're talking about her aggressiveness and just how hard she plays. And her teammates kind of taken aback by it at first, but as Matt Mott said, they certainly appreciate it these days, and it didn't take them long. Here's Pack. Nice ball toward Curran. Trying to play that one across. But again, good defending. That back row, Vandiver, Cunningham, they've been back there virtually all night long. Pack back up to take it. And Pack runs through the seam. Sends it across with her left foot. Headed back and wide. Kiefer got her head on another one.
I mean, Clark is definitely going to want that header back.
I should say Clark, yes.
It was a beautiful piece of skill there by Pack. I mean, she sizes up the defender. She just kind of does a nice little hip swivel, brings it back on her left. And Clark, I think, was expecting the ball to be low and across frame. And so you see there, she kind of has to reach back around. She tries to flick her body for it, so she's not able to get that. If that ball is low and driven, then that's definitely an easy little tap in there for Clark.
20 minutes into the second half, neither team has scored. Still 1-0 Oklahoma on a Kayla Kiefer goal in the 17th minute. Brown trying to find Alexis Washington with that one. Sooners will take a throw in. Substitution set to come on both ways. Summer Brown will return for North Texas, and there's Brenlin Mullaney for Oklahoma replacing Curran. And we'll see who comes off for the Mean Green. It's like maybe Annis will get a breather, perhaps. Yes. Most of this second half has been played on this end. Not a lot allowed to go the other way. Washington. Oklahoma maintains it with Brown. She'll hit it toward the top of the 18. Canty wins this ball. The freshman turns.
And that was beautiful skill there by Canty to try to hold the ball up. She sized off to finish. She actually, the ref was playing advantage for her because of the foul, and she's just playing not like a freshman tonight.
Another Oklahoma substitution. And I think they'll give Kiefer a breather. And Luciana Seta-Ducate will enter. Kiefer, no doubt, will be back soon. 18 different players have entered this game for Oklahoma. Once again, the depth that Matt Mott has built on this roster, and it's shown up in many places. Number one, when you go to the bench, you're replacing quality with quality. But you think about the luxury that he and his staff have now of just competition for playing time. That can drive a lot of things as a coach, can't it, Nick?
I mean, and that's what you want. You know, when you talk about playing time and practice, you know, a lot of people don't understand that, you know, there's 11 girls that play, and people kind of really get stagnant because they think that they're in there every single game. I mean, once you have a starting roster, a starting lineup, that really doesn't change throughout the season unless there's a sub or something drastic that happens. And so for being able to go to practice and every day it's a battle, I mean, that is a beautiful problem to have if you're the Sooners.
Summer Brown, that breakaway, but you see the closing angle that has made Cassie Clifton a mainstay for Oklahoma throughout her career. Mia Bernard set to take just the second corner of the night for the Mean Green. 1-0 Oklahoma. Opportunity to get the equalizer for North Texas. And Brown knocks it down for the Sooners. Right back out it comes for Bernard. Headed to the backside. Taken out. It's Vandiver trying to fire, and Duffy is there. You know, sometimes as a keeper, Nick, you've talked about this before. Oklahoma puts so much pressure on the opposition. You don't want to get caught napping because you haven't had much action, and Duffy was ready that time.
You know, how many times have we mentioned Duffy tonight? And it's not being a free kick or a beautiful ball playing up there. I mean, so as a goalkeeper, when you're not getting a lot of shots on, you normally try to switch off. And so for Duffy to always be active, you know, when you speak to the Sooners coaching staff, they call it Duffy's Kingdom because she's always there. She's always just ready to go and she's ready to pounce. And so that just brings that extra little bit of security for the Sooners back line because they know that no matter what happens, Duffy's going to be there and she's going to come up big.
Second save of the night, recorded by Caroline Duffy. She had 2 matches of 10 or more saves last year when she recorded 10 wins in goal for Oklahoma. Once again, making her 24th career start as a Sooner after transferring from Duke. And an Oklahoma substitution, Hadley Morrell back on. Juliet Rayo over to the sideline with under 20 minutes left. Did you expect, Nick, with under 20 minutes left when we started, that it would be a 1-0 game?
I mean, if you look from last year where the game was only 1-0, just because this is somewhat of a rivalry game, I mean, you can maybe kind of expect it, but both teams are just firing at all cylinders right now. I mean, I would have been very shocked at the end of this game if you would have said, hey, this game ended 1-0. And I think the bigger shock I would have been, well, how many shots on goal were there? And right now, for both teams combined, there's only 14. I mean, I think you mentioned it earlier. These teams average 48 together. I mean, this is definitely an unexpected game, and so it's made it a very interesting watch.
This one taken by Major. Turns and drops it toward Brown. Brown trying to gain the edge and send it across, which she does. And on the backside, it just trickles off of Renfro. And an Oklahoma goal kick coming. Oklahoma, one of 3 unbeaten and untied teams in the SEC coming into the day, along with Tennessee and Alabama. Tennessee got the early 2 good top 5 wins. Oklahoma, one of 7 SEC teams ranked this week. And then Alabama, unranked but unbeaten, coming in. Alexis Washington. Now Brown drives this one right toward the 18 box. Seta Ducate trying to get a chance but can't. This will come to Niedermeyer. And Duffy will just wisely clear this one out, with Summer Brown threatening the goal box. There you see the rankings, and Oklahoma has 4 of those other 6 ranked SEC teams on the schedule in SEC play. No real easy way to draw up a schedule going into a season. You just don't know how good teams are going to be year to year anymore with transfer portal and the ability to get better or drop off quickly.
You know, and we speak about it a lot. I mean, we always bring back Mississippi State from last season. I mean, no one expected Mississippi State to be as good as what they were, and then they won the SEC. I mean, they were at one point in time, I think, top 2 in the country. I mean, they just went out and they won the transfer portal and said, hey, we're going to show some teams, you know, what we can do. And now, you know, it's just a completely different team. Yes, the coach did change, but it's just you don't know what you're going to get week in and week out just because of that transfer portal.
And Matt Mott's team right in the thick of things, ranked number 20. Wholesale substitutions coming on here. Mentioned that Oklahoma, they got a chance, the soccer team did, to go throw out T-shirts and shoot out T-shirts, and they introduced them as the 20th ranked Oklahoma soccer team. And Matt Mott said it's kind of nice to hear that.
You know,
certainly.
It's got a nice little ring to it.
We approach 15 minutes remaining. Annis out there. She is back on. Bernard gets a breather. See if Bernard comes back at some point. And a throw-in coming here for North Texas.
One of the things we've seen so far this season is that Coach Matt Mott is not afraid to use his subs. But this second half, it's a little bit differently. He's definitely bringing them in more of a 5 to 10 minute span. And so he's definitely using more subs than what he normally would. And I don't know if that's a tactical switch they want to do. I don't know if he said at halftime, hey, we're going to win this game 5 minutes at a time. And so, you know, for the next 5 minutes, we're going to bring in this group of girls, and we're really just going to get after it. And so it's been interesting to watch, because if you look at the midfield specifically, I mean, I think there's been at least 6 different girls just in the midfield alone in this half. And normally the midfield is where you want to have the most cohesion. And so that just speaks to the ability that Coach Matt Mott has to be able to pull a sub in, and nothing really changes.
Foul there at midfield. Oklahoma will get a free kick. Sophie Morin takes what is the 4th foul whistled against North Texas. And this is where the Sooner keeper, Duffy, can be very dangerous. She has 2 assists this year in situations similar to this. She gets the go-ahead, hits it a little left. Goal kick back the other way for North Texas. Mean Green, Tom Hedlund said, took a little bit to develop. They have 7 players who played over 1,000 minutes. They returned 27 of 38 goals from a year ago, but it always takes a bit. They did not have an exhibition, and so they got out there for the first time, Incarnate Word, and dropped that one, but then started to get on track. I mentioned they lost but outshot SMU by a wide margin. Opportunity here on this ball across and just cleared out. It'll be an Oklahoma corner kick. Vandiver dropping back there just to get it out of the goal box area. And the 5th corner of the night coming for the Sooners. It'll be taken by Sophie Morin.
That was a lovely burst of pace there by Tudis. I mean, just being able to size up her defender and blow right by her to win that corner. That was beautifully done.
So Morin hits it way across to the other side. Comes down to the foot of Morrell, and just wide. It was served. A near Sooner goal there on the backside. Morrell got to it for a quick touch. That was out top. Sent just a little bit wide there. Cassie Clifton working her way back into form and ready, and the Sooners have had Mulaney and Tudis out there getting some substitutes on, but Mulaney got her foot to that ball just across the mouth of the goal.
She's a little bit unfortunate there. I don't think she was expecting the ball to go all the way across. I mean, I think Hadley Morrell, they were expecting a little bit more power on that hit. She kind of just, I don't want to say whiffed it. She just didn't hit it as hard as what she should have hit it. And so Mulaney was saying, oh, the ball kind of landed at her feet. So I think there's a little bit of surprise. I think she definitely would love to have that one back because she was wide open in front of goal.
Brown serves that one in. Just missed, and with 11 minutes left, a goal kick for the Mean Green. Morrell chasing toward that one.
Subbing onto the pitch for North Texas, number 20, Abby Major.
Abby Major is going to return for the Mean Green. Bea Rosales is back out. There's Major. Major, 4th year, senior from Frisco, led North Texas in minutes a season ago. She began her collegiate career with a red shirt at Mississippi State back in 2021. Duffy will calmly pick this one up. Seta Ducate had this one taken by Vandiver. And that out of bounds off of Cunningham. An Oklahoma throw-in. And now these late game substitutions. Rayo and Washington return for Matt Mott and the Sooners. Got a little breather over there, and Drew Legan is back. Final push here for both teams.
I mean, we're in for an exciting last 10 minutes because this game really could be won by either team. I mean, we saw there that there was one little, slip up by OU, which caused the North Texas to kind of get an extra shot on goal. And so both teams are wide open. So as this game slowly starts to go into the final waning minutes, you're going to see North Texas slowly start to push more and more numbers up because they want to come out of here with something. which when that's going to happen, that's going to open the game right up for the Sooners. And if they continue this high press, then, you know, this is going to be an exciting last few minutes of this game.
9 minutes left, and North Texas set to take a throw in. Just 3 shots total for a North Texas team averaging 25 shots per game. Kiefer angles it for Ligon. Kiefer able to head that one, but wide of the goal again. Relentless. I think that's a good word to describe Kiefer.
And that's what makes her so good in front of goal, is that she's like the Energizer Bunny. She just doesn't stop. And I mean, she's tracking back defensively. She's winning headers. I mean, every moment when you need someone up top, I mean, she seems to be at the right place at the right time. I mean, and her goals tonight in the past few games have spoke to her just slowly getting into the Sooners team. And, you know, that's something that Coach Matt Mott is definitely loving to see before they get into conference play. You know, they want her firing on all cylinders.
Brown thumps that header forward. Rayo controls it. Matt Mott with a word for Clifton before she takes this throw in. We have not seen Lexi Dendis since the first half for Oklahoma as Kiefer turns and tries to get a drive away that's deflected. Ligon races up to it. And a counter threat here for the Mean Green potentially. But Pack is able to cut Brown off.
A little bit too nonchalant there by Brown. I would have loved to see, you know, Pack did all of that work, you know, sprinting all the way across field to win that ball. I would have loved to see Brown just put her foot through the ball and saying, hey, we just did all of that work. Now let's not invite pressure into our final third.
Stretch run here, 6.5 minutes remaining. There's Niedermeyer back on. Another North Texas throw in coming as Warren just elects to clear that one out. This one's served in by Renfro, and there's Duffy reaching high above everyone. Two saves made by Duffy tonight. Been in the right place all night, as is typical. What a ball there by Kiefer toward Washington. And played out by Vandiver.
And that's just knowing where Washington's going to be. And so, I mean, Kiefer's literally playing this ball over her shoulder, just expecting Washington to make that run. That is just how good she's been at the moment. She has just really blossomed these past few games, and she's really starting to get into the flow and get into the rhythm, which is exciting for her. And it's exciting to watch the Sooner offense saying, hey, now we've got another potential goal-scoring threat. I mean, Coach Matt Mott has definitely got to be loving her development these past few games.
Naomi Clark is back on for Oklahoma. She had an assist on the goal by Kiefer in the first half. And with 5 minutes left, we've not had a score since the 17th minute. Mack able to come up and control it for Oklahoma. Time, the ally of the Sooners, the enemy of the Mean Green at this point.
Subbing onto the bench for North Texas, number 27.
One more substitute coming on. There's Georgia Gunther for more playing time, replacing Bernard. Under 4 minutes to go. Oklahoma hits the road for the second time this season. Next week they'll play at North Texas. And the Mean Green will take on Abilene Christian on the 4th. Sooners will be able to just run as much clock as they possibly can.
The Sooners have kind of switched into a makeshift back four, which is something we have not seen yet this season. I mean, with Clifton becoming healthy, I think that's going to be one of the key things to try to watch is what are you going to do with this back line? They've been playing this 3-5-2, which has been extremely successful. But now you've got Clifton, who, like we mentioned earlier, has more than 4,200 minutes in her college career. I mean, how do you line up? Do you try to implement her back into the game, or do you take one of these stellar freshmen off and, you know, hurt what they've been doing so far this year? So it's going to be interesting to watch and kind of see how that plays out.
Foul whistled, the 5th against the Mean Green. Kiefer for Clark, and now Washington drops down beautifully to her feet. Oklahoma throw in here with 2 minutes left. North Texas just has not been able to get down to the offensive end very often. I would say 80% of this match has been played down here on this end. Nick, would you say?
I mean, and that just speaks to how good these Sooners have been. I mean, you see here they're trying to kind of do a little bit of time wasting holding the ball in the corner there, but the Sooners have just been relentless. Every second ball, every kind of ball that's been a 50-50, the Sooners have won. And that was something, you know, when we're going to the year, we were questioning, are the Sooners going to be able to do that? Are we going to be able to win those balls? And Coach Matt Mott and his coaching staff has answered all of those questions, and they've answered them beautifully.
The goal came back in the 17th minute for Matt Mott's Sooners. That's been it. They have outshot North Texas 13-3, but more than anything, again, a North Texas team averaging 25 shots per night, 3rd in the country coming in, and they've been able to get off only 3 against this Oklahoma defense.
You know, I think if you spoke to Coach Matt Mott, would he be upset that they haven't had more goals? Yes, but I think he's going to be even more happy with the fact that they've held this team to 3 shots. I mean, I spoke about it earlier. They are 3rd in the country in shots at about 25.8 a game. And so, I mean, it just speaks to how well this Sooners team has been playing so far this season.
One more opportunity here for North Texas with a throw in. Vandiver, but Washington runs through it for the Sooners. Retaken by Reeves.
8, 7,
Niedermeyer couldn't quite get to it. Now does, surrounded.
8, 1.
And that final chip deflected by Morin at the wire. Oklahoma posts a shutout. And the Sooners start 6-0, continuing the best start they've had since 2002. Tying the best start in program history. It's a 1-0 final. The lone goal by Kayla Kiefer all the way back in the 17th minute. We're back to talk to one of the stars of the night on SEC Network Plus.